to our main story tonight, the real important stuff. It's been a big week for mascots. On Saturday, Colorado's mascot tried to shoot t-shirts into the crowd, but instead, he ended up shooting them into the crowd. And BYU's mascot, Cosmo the Cougar, had his head fall off while performing a trick on the field. Luckily, the staff treated that with exactly the amount of seriousness that it needed. As perfect as those two stories seem, they paled in comparison to the biggest mascot news of the week.
The Philadelphia Flyers have unveiled its new mascot, Gritty, and the reaction was priceless. But before we get to those, we're going to let this play out a bit more so you can get some perspective. That is really creepy.
Oh, so it's creepy to have googly eyes and walk around pantsless? You sound just like the staff at the Holiday Inn when I lock myself out of my room. Judgy. Gritty's announcement was huge, but he wasn't done yet. In his first day on the job, he slipped and fell on the ice, and then took out a coworker by shooting them in the back with a t-shirt cannon from point-blank range. Really incredible stuff. He then rounded out the day by wishing the internet good night with this tweet, which may not have broken the internet like the Kardashian original. Are you offended? It didn't break the internet like the original, but it definitely broke at least one furry-based subreddit. So, at first I didn't understand why the Flyers even wanted a mascot, but it turns out they were one of only 2 NHL teams without one, which means the New York Rangers are now the only mascot-free franchise in the league, despite my insistence that James Dolan should totally count. So Gritty joins a long list of NHL mascots you've probably never even heard of, like Louie from the St. Louis Blues, a bear who is perpetually in the very late stages of hypothermia. Hunter, who obviously reps the Edmonton Oilers, and also obviously feeds on the souls of children. And Nash, who is the mascot for the Nashville Predators. And thank God they went with a cat, because this could have gone somewhere real dark, real fast. Even the league's newest team, the Vegas Golden Knights, have this thing, though I'm not sure what that could possibly represent.
I'm quoting, I'm serious. Chance represents the inclusive culture of hockey. Everyone is welcome. He demonstrates how important life skills can be developed by playing hockey, such as strong character, dedication, fitness, and teamwork. Close quote. It's a Muppet. It looks like a snake. And you're the Knights.
You know, Chance actually makes perfect sense when you remember that Vegas is the #1 place for bad decisions. The initial reaction to Gritty on Monday was strong, and not in a good way. Like a denial from Urban Meyer. But then almost immediately there was this shift. People seemed to embrace this orange wackadoo in all his googly-eyed glory. I feel like I've said that sentence before. But not all hockey mascot introductions go this smoothly. In 2010, the Columbus Blue Jackets, who already had a mascot, decided to introduce Boomer, a second mascot. That was discontinued after just 3 days, because it looked a whole lot like a, well, you know. And if you don't see it, I didn't either at first, but if you toss a blur on that thing, ta-da, it looks just like my Instagram DMs. But even Boomer, you excited about them? I can forward them to you. But even Boomer wasn't the worst hockey mascot unveiling in history. That honor goes to the Adirondack Flames, an AHL team in New York, who debuted their new mascot, Scorch, in 2014 with this video. Quick note, we did not edit this at all. Multiple people signed off on that. An anthropomorphic flame murdering a first responder and then hitting the electroshuffle next to the corpse. The team had to issue an apology hours after the video dropped, and then that was that. No more of that mascot. Of course, it's not just hockey teams that have mascots. The majority of our professional sports teams do, which made me wonder, why? Like, where did this idea even even come from? Well, I Googled it. Turns out the word mascot comes from the French word mascotte, which means lucky charm. Mascots used to be anything that brought a team luck. A child, an animal, a child animal. But then someone realized those things are unpredictable. So why not take a human and make them look like a child? And yada, yada, yada. That's how we ended up here in a fiery hellscape. The older you get, the more you start to think about the person inside the sweaty fur monster. I used to think these people were like smiley rays of sunshine who just wanted to spread joy to children. But it turns out a lot of them are just people.
I've been doing this for 11 years. It's relief and release. I work full-time for the federal government. That can be very trying and very frustrating. This is a physical outlet with a lot of physical fun.
The idea of handing your baby to the dancing dodo bird becomes a lot less adorable when you realize they work at the DMV. Of course, these mascots do undergo serious training before they suit up, where they're taught, all kinds of important stuff. Listen to one mascot describing what he learned.
I had to go through one day of training where he told me what to do and not what to do and stuff like that, and make sure I don't hit the kids and stuff, and I'm real cautious and stuff, and just make the kids happy and love me. If I hit somebody or something, I need to go and say, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Well, figured out why they don't talk. It feels like I'm being too negative, and I'm sorry. Mascots are not all bad. They provide comic relief and, in some cases, a pretty solid revenue stream. The Philly Fanatic debuted in 1978 and is now arguably the most popular mascot in the country. And according to Forbes, in March 2016, Philly Fanatic merchandise now accounts for about 10% of the overall retail sales at its home field, Citizens Bank Park, making him a more popular sell than most players on the Phillies roster. Which does sound insane, but people forget the Phillies were so bad in 2015 that the Fanatic batted cleanup. He did okay. But it's not just the money that leads teams to have a mascot, it's the children. Someone is finally thinking of the children. And everyone knows kids love mascots.
The Memphis Grizzlies are the parent club of the Iowa Energy, and once in a while, Grizz, the mascot, makes a trip to Iowa just to hang out with the fans. Tonight, Grizz was in the house doing his thing, and everyone loved old Grizz. All right, not everyone. This poor girl just did not appreciate Grizz. And the worst part about it, he wouldn't leave. Leave the poor girl alone!
They always say emotional scars are like souvenirs that last a lifetime. You can't even blame that little girl for her reaction, because it's entirely possible she just found out what Grizz gets into after she goes night-night. Sorry, that is disgusting. Did you see that? Did you see how disgusting that was? Play that again, and this time slow it down a little. Ooh, gross. I am gonna find out who that is in that suit, and they are gonna hear from me on Tinder. Look, all things considered, I guess I'm just not sure how I feel about mascots. So I figured it's only right to allow them to explain their side of things. And that's why we're joined now, via satellite, by the one and only Gritty, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, hello. Thank you for being here. I know you've had a busy couple days. Tell me, how are you feeling? So good? You're feeling good? Happy? Grateful? That's good. Feeling grateful? Whatever that is. Okay. Look, I spent the last few minutes here trying to decide how I feel about mascots, and if I'm honest, I feel like they kind of creep me out. Is that normal? Or no? Bad. Okay, I can see why that might upset you. I do have to say, though, that little hip thrust there, not exactly helping your case. I know you're biased, but I mean, could you at least see how someone might feel that way? Yeah, think about it and yeah, okay, see, you get it. No, yeah, I understand how it might feel personal, but it isn't. I'm sure you're a great guy. The other ones, though, some of them, they're a little weird, right? Like, I don't want to make you say something bad about your new friends, but say something bad about your new friends. No? No, not even the Vegas snake thing? No, don't leave. Wait, sorry, you're right. I'm being too cynical. Come back. Just one more question. Come back. Thank you. Thank you. I promise it won't be mean. Just, tell me what you love about being a mascot. Make the case for someone, not me, but someone who might be on the fence about you guys. Okay, you dance. You dance up and down. You just can't see why anyone. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you should just you tickle us, I think was the last thing you said there. Okay, well, I'm certainly convinced. Look, I know you got to get back to whatever it is you do, but thank you so much for joining us. Give it up for Gritty, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Okay. Leave some of those for me. Well, yeah, I'm convinced. I guess mascots are great. Go watch this thing.
For more, sign up now for ESPN Plus.